Hello. Welcome back to the cafe. It's been a little while. I've been ill. I'm sorry about that, but I am back. Uh, Lord willing, consistently. Yeah. Today we're getting back to Darksiders 2. And then Thursday, I'm going to be doing something different. Um, Usually I'd play Darksiders 2 and Clear Obscure Expedition 33 because those are two games I'm kind of working through right now. We're going to do something else. We're going to play kind of a newer game called Creature Kitchen. It looks kind of fun, so I just wanted to play that. Just to kind of do something a little more chill. Um, Obviously, I'm a little limited in what I can stream, with only 2 consistent streaming days. But it is what it is. Anyway, welcome back to the cafe. I have my coffee beside me. It is my second cup of the day. I am trying to cut back, but I was weak today. Uh, Anyway, it looks delicious. I haven't sipped on it yet, and I'll probably sip on it here in a second and have to run to the bathroom. But health is not fantastic right now, but things are starting to look up. So praise the Lord for that. Anyway, I think I am gonna be. I've been thinking a lot about my. I've been thinking a lot about my content and how I want to move forward with things. No major changes coming anytime soon, as far as I can tell. Um, the most major change would probably be a change to my schedule, but you know that comes when it comes. My schedule's already been kind of shaky anyway, but uh, oh, hi, oh man. Um, I still intend to do. Hello, Elijah. Welcome in. I was talking about, um, you know, I've been thinking about streaming and content creation and what that looks like going forward. No major changes at the moment, but I'm just kind of thinking out loud here. Um, I still want to do the streams like I've been doing. I still want to do my Lampwick guide stuff, which I have 2 that I need to make and queue up so that I can go ahead and schedule them and give myself a little bit of a buffer. I should have done that Monday, but I didn't do it because I was sick. Anyway, uh, I still want to do those things, but I really am trying to think of like other things I could do, getting outside the box, maybe getting back more to like the writer storytelling aspect of my character, that my real character as well as this character, Lampwick. Me and Lampwick sharing that. But I'm not sure how to do that just yet, and I really haven't been sure how to do that since I started streaming again, which it's been over 2 years. I passed my 2-year anniversary back in February. But that's pretty crazy to me. Anyway, what was I talking about? So I'm still going to be doing games. I am still going to be doing the Lampwick Guide stuff. I need to try and get back to doing the short form videos as well. I've just been really lazy lately, to be honest. Anyway, all that to say, no big changes at the moment, but things might be coming down the pipeline as I figure stuff out. Anyway, how are you doing, Elijah? How have things been lately? I have been quite ill recently. Things are starting to look up overall, but still not feeling my best for sure. Thank you for asking, by the way. That's very, very kind of you to be thinking about me. I am grateful. One change that may happen and is probably going to be the case today at least is I'm going to suspend the um I'm going to suspend the devotionals I was doing before every stream. I do not intend to permanently get rid of that as part of my content, but I'm thinking that maybe that might have that might be better to have its own stage, so to speak, so that it's not being like the glories of the truth of God and his character and the gospel and things like that are not being maybe mixed with the uh just the random whateverness of my gaming streams or whatever I end up doing with streams in the future. I feel like that should have its own pedestal because it is the most important thing. I don't intend, I mean, I am still a Christian. I will still be, Christian about my content, but it may not be like, it may not be a integral part of streams unless it comes up. I would appreciate the prayers, Elijah. Thank you. And I'm glad you're doing all right. Yeah, I feel the same way. There's a lot of stuff on my plate that I have been putting off this year, and I'm just now getting to a very long to-do list, but it is nice to like check each thing off as I get it done. I've got some homeowner responsibilities that need to be addressed. Job stuff that needs to be straightened out, and obviously my health is a really big one. Just a lot of stuff that's been piling up, mainly once again because I've been lazy and not wanting to deal with it just because I've been feeling ill. But that's really no excuse to let very important things go by the wayside like I have. It's just it's one of those things. Anyway, yeah, so I do plan, my thought is maybe I'll do like a verse of the day kind of thing before I get into like the games and stuff like that in my streams or whatever else I'm doing. Like I'll read the verse of the day, if there's opportunity to discuss it or pray about it or do prayer requests or whatever. I'm absolutely open to doing that. To just have something that calls my content, whatever it might be, back to the Lord. But I don't think the full like, and it wasn't very robust on its own. But the full like devotional I was doing, like I said, I don't intend to completely get rid of that, but maybe have that be a separate thing in the future. Especially because I don't feel like I'm necessarily the best person without careful thought and consideration to just be like talking about certain things when I am still a pretty young student of the Bible myself. It's just something I've been thinking about. And yes, Elijah, it is hard managing that balance, but I've been definitely leaning more towards grace for myself, which has turned into not grace, but coddling and just a childish refusal to address what I need to address. I'm not putting that on you or anything. That is purely me talking about myself, just to be clear. I'm going to get a drink of water. Whew. I have to be economical about drinking my coffee because I don't want to drink it so fast I get sick. Because that will happen. But at the same time, if I leave it on my coffee warmer too long, the milk will start to burn. And that just makes it hard to clean and not very tasty. I will say, last night I made like a super smooth cup of coffee. It was so delicious. I shared it with my wife. I was like, "You gotta taste this. This is super smooth." This cup not as smooth as the one I made this morning. It's got a bit of a smoky taste to it, which it's probably the beans. They're getting a little old, but I'm almost out of the bag that I was using, so they should stay. They shouldn't expire or anything. I have a I got a nice vacuum sealed coffee storing thingy for my birthday last year, so my beans last a lot longer at freshness. Yeah, it's hard because you end up making. I see what you're saying, Elijah. You end up making the valid excuses that you have seem more substantial that they are sometimes. At least I do this. Like I legitimately am sick. I do have a chronic illness that sometimes is debilitating, but it's not always debilitating. And I tend, I think, to lean on it as a crutch too much in my day-to-day life and ignore things that really should be addressed. And to my discredit, would take like 15 or 20 minutes to resolve or address if I just sat down and did them. Like, seriously. That's the most frustrating part, I think. You know? Is you put off those things that within 20 minutes you would have off of your list and you could just breathe a sigh of relief. But you don't do them, and so you just end up, with a long to-do list and a lot of stress that you don't need to have. We are often our own worst enemies when it comes to things like that, especially. I'm probably gonna have to do some. Just as an aside, I don't mean to talk. I'm not gonna talk about this in depth, but I'm probably gonna have to do some more volume mixing with the game again because, I don't just use my computer for streaming. I use it personally too. So like levels get adjusted and different things like that. So it just is what it is. Darksiders 2 so far has been notoriously difficult in managing, especially volume levels. Even last stream, I had one of my friends there to bounce questions off of in terms of the levels, the audio levels, and I spent probably a total of like 5 minutes, which is a lot in like stream time. While you're literally live, trying to adjust the volume to where it was balanced. But dang, that's a good quote. That's the kind of quote you could have on a placard somewhere in your house to remind yourself, Yeah, that's a good one. Any difficulty slurred over will be a ghost to disturb your repose later on. How true. I'm sure there's some kind of C.S. Lewis quote that would also be good. But I'm not going to look for that right now. Either in Mere Christianity or Screwtape Letters. Between the two of those, I would not doubt that there's some kind of quote similar to that. Yes, absolutely. It does apply quite unilaterally. Oh, sorry about yawning into the mic. It's going to happen again. Oh, man. I really am just like tired. Like overall, like I've been sleeping better. Thank you for that, Elijah. I appreciate that. I've been sleeping better. I really have, but my body has been so overworked by just like trying to deal with my illness internally that I'm just like top to bottom just worn out. It's an interesting feeling. One thing I need to do is I need to rethink my music, my background music, and I need to make some new stuff because I like this, particularly that I made. I'm still not very happy with the way the intro music turned out, but at the time I didn't have the time or inclination to remake it again. But it is something that I need to address because I know I could do better. It's just a matter of sitting down and doing it. And it would probably take like an afternoon, to be honest, at most. Yeah, it does. It really does. But once again, I've been using it as an excuse far more than is warranted. I'm not once again, I'm not debilitated at the moment. There have been times in this past week and the weeks before that I was, but it hasn't been as much as I maybe let on. Anyway, back to the music. My limitations make it so that I'll probably still do this kind of chant kind of stuff, but I'd like to make it a bit more complex in terms of the notes. And you know, just mess around with it more, see what I can do with like audio filters and stuff like that. Be a little bit more brave, a little bit more out there. But getting the sound that I really want, the vibe that I really want, is difficult. And I would love to just use like, you know, stream safe music in the background or whatever. But once again, there is kind of a vibe I'm going for. And I find that it's a little difficult to get that vibe with some of like the stream safe, like lo-fi background music or whatever. Hello, Decaf. Welcome into the cafe. We're talking about stuff. I'm talking about making new stream background music for myself. Yeah, there's a specific vibe I'm going for, and it's not always easy to find that vibe in other people's music. So, of course, the solution would be to make it myself. You know, if other people aren't hitting the vibe you want, you make it yourself, you know. But my skills are limited still. I am improving, but my skills are limited. I did not put enough maple syrup in that. My coffee. I don't use sugar anymore because it hurts me. Well, I do use coconut sugar, but coconut sugar isn't as inflammatory to my gut. And then I use maple syrup for like that actual dash of sweetness because coconut sugar is really mellow and subtle. So I kind of use half and half of them. But anyway. Yeah, it's more just that the stuff I have now is incredibly simplistic. Like it's literally just a loop, like a 1 minute 30-second loop of a couple of different notes drawn out over, you know, with some audio filters and stuff on. Like I said, it's not that I don't like it necessarily, it's just that I know I could do better. No, I can't use stevia, actually. Hey, Doker, welcome in. Welcome to the cafe. Yeah, I'm not able to use stevia. Stevia has compounds in it that are specifically not great for people with my particular issues. It's just one of those things. Some people with like the gut issues similar to what I have can use stevia just fine, but I'm not able to. I've tested that in the past. I've tested a lot of different alternative sweeteners. In the end, to get the sweetness of actual sugar, maple syrup is going to come the closest, but obviously it has kind of its own flavor as well. So if you're okay with that flavor, which I am, especially in my coffee specifically, I don't generally use it in like cooking unless the recipe calls for it. But for coffee, I think maple syrup is the one thing that isn't the one alternative sweetener that isn't what's the word I'm looking for here? That I like the most. Because all the others seem to have like weird aftertastes and stuff like that. I don't know. I have a particular palate, I suppose. Then again, everyone does, because everyone is different. Oh, Decaf, Joker, how are y'all doing? How are things going? Yeah, it's just cheaper and easier to get just maple syrup. Because like I said, I really only use it for my coffee and or on pancakes and waffles, you know? Ah, I understand, Decaf. I am doing okay, Doker. Still feeling ill, but I think on the recovering trend. Hard to say, but slowly starting to feel better than I was, and I'm just hoping that that trend continues and doing everything I can to facilitate that. I'm glad you're doing well, Doker. Decaf, I wish you luck at the rest of your shift at work, however long that is. Joker, I literally just did that myself a couple days ago. I was just following a bunch of people. Like when I first started kind of networking and getting more into like the scene, especially with like the Christian VTubing scene and stuff like that, like following more Christian content creators, I just like followed a whole bunch of them and then realized like I'm never going to be able to like actually watch all of these people. So it's not that I necessarily unfollowed them, but I at least turned off notifications because like I'm really only going to watch a few, you know, at least consistently. If a stream pops up where it's like, uh, you know, I'm actually like really interested in the stream contents, of course I'd watch it. But if I had the time at the moment. Yeah, I feel like it's completely reasonable, you know, if you follow someone or subscribe to someone if you're over on YouTube, you know, and you just never ever interact with their content. It's like okay, you know. And you don't have to necessarily unfollow them. Like I said, you can just turn off notifications. You know, you may be interested in seeing their career or whatever it is, their whatever they're doing in the content creation scene. You may be interested in following it, but you may not necessarily come to every stream, you know. Yeah. Um you know, as a content creator, you can't really like, it's hard because you want people, you want retention, obviously. That's actually like super high praise for me, and I appreciate that, Decaf. I really do. I'm I'm honestly I am extremely grateful for that. But you know, as a content creator, and I say this as if I'm some kind of expert. I'm not. But what was I saying? Oh, I modded you like 3 streams ago, but like I don't expect you to necessarily do anything with it. It's just like if you're here and so inclined, you have the power because you actually come by on a fairly consistent basis. Doker, I should probably do the same to you. I consider you both generally trustworthy people since Decaf, I've interacted with you a lot on stream, and Doker, I've interacted with you a lot like outside of streams. So anyway. Yeah, I get that. Interacting on stream can be its own thing. What was I saying? Right. As a content creator, you obviously want retention, but at the same time, you really can't like expect that people, especially in this fast moving world, you know, where people do follow like a ton of different people and whatever. You can't really expect that that's going to be like that's going to be, you know, you're always going to be in someone's queue or whatever. You can't really expect that. All right. 3 different devices on monitor. Yeah, I mean I mostly self-moderate. Unfortunately, like I mentioned last stream, I still get like bots coming in on Kick especially. I'm not sure I've ever had like a legitimate like chatter come in on the Kick side. Hard to say actually. But I think they've all been bots. So, you know, I have to self-moderate that, but I chose to multi-stream, so, you know. I get the PR control. And as the streamer, I appreciate, you know, I appreciate people having self-control in the chat. But I get that. Though I try not to self-censor myself too much, and by that I don't mean like bad words or slurs, obviously. Yeah, I'm starting to feel that actually, Joker. I'm starting to feel like there's not really much for me there between YouTube and Twitch. Yeah, I'm starting to feel like there's not much for me there. Anyway, yeah, I try not to self-censor myself, which I know is not good for the algorithm. I know it could get me banned or suspended or whatever, but I really hate the self-censorship that we do nowadays. You know, where we won't say certain words because, oh, YouTube doesn't like that or Twitch doesn't like that, so I won't get as good numbers in the algorithm, which I don't care about. I'm doing this for fun. You know, I don't have that. Obviously, I'd love to be able to grow this into a legitimate community and have a following and you know, even make money off of this. I would love that, right? But that's not really my goal. I want to make stuff that I'm a creator. Even before I ever started or even thought about starting to stream or make YouTube videos or whatever it was, I'm a creator. I create things. I want to. I love it. I just want to create stuff that people can enjoy. That's it. That's legitimately it. And obviously, I'm creating stuff that I think I would enjoy in a way. So, you know, it's just finding that crowd, so to speak. But I really don't want to like self-censor myself, especially when talking about serious stuff, you know? I agree, TCAF. And the thing about that is, what I don't mean is I'm going to just use whatever bad language I want or joke about things that shouldn't be joked about. What I mean is when we hold ourselves back from using certain words, I think we cheapen the thing, even the bad thing we're trying to describe. And words are so important and can be so powerful if we use them right. And I'm a writer. I'm an author. English was my degree. I understand how powerful language can be. And I want to use it as it is meant to be used. I want to use it to communicate clearly. I want to use it in its context. And I want to use it with all the right connotations. I just think we self-censor ourselves too much because we're, especially for content creators, you know, once again, algorithm chasing or, you know, trying to appease platforms that hate us anyway. Like, one, you know, we'll put it this way, you know, I'm trying to get into like the VTubing scene, quote unquote, sort of, you know, but I'm male. One strike against me, right? I'm a man. You know, two, I'm white. There's that too, but I won't get super into that for obvious reasons. Three, I'm a Christian, right? So I'm already 3 strikes deep. Not self-censoring myself and using like pathetic little like euphemisms, you know, to try and stay away from the bad word that YouTube or the bad word that Twitch doesn't like. And once again, not like cursing bad words, but like the, you know, using like unalive for kill. Like, I'm not gonna do that. To me, that's just silly. It's stupid, right? You know, I'm already not going to be like the biggest guy ever, and that's okay. I'm really okay with that, because even if I had the opportunity to be the biggest guy ever, the most popular streamer ever, but I had to do that, I had to self-censor myself. I had to like, you know, I had to not say something that I believe it's right and correct to say. I wouldn't do it. Anyway, so I had a book that I had self-published to Amazon when I was 19. It was going to be part of a trilogy, but I took it down a while ago because it was trash. It was really bad. I might still have the manuscript, but if I ever were to re-release it, it would be after a pretty significant rewrite, in which case it's kind of like the Ship of Theseus. I doubt there would be any parts of it left from its old self, except maybe some names, to be honest. I have some short stories published under my real name, which I won't mention here, on Amazon. If you want to go and look those up, they're called the Ashen Bower series. I'll just put that in the chat. Hold on. Let's see. The first one is called Verhei's Peak, I think. I think that's correct. So yeah, if you really want to see my stuff, my current published stuff, you can Renai, welcome to the cafe. We were talking about a lot of things actually, but I was talking about self-censoring and mentioned I was an author, and Decaf asked me about well, he asked me to name one book, which I suppose I understood. I thought he was asking me to name one book I had written, but now I'm understanding that he was joking with me and asking me to name one book at all, which At the Mountains of Madness by H.P. Lovecraft is a stellar book if you're into that sort of thing. And I just finished reading it not too long ago. Anyway, but yeah, if you actually want to read something that I wrote, Ashen Bower, the Ashen Bower series on Amazon, once again published under my real name, so I won't mention it here. It's out there, but I just don't want to mention it currently if I don't have to. Yeah, you can check that out. Well, they're not very long, and honestly, if I feel bad charging my friends for them, so if you really wanted to, I could send you them for free, to be honest. In fact, if you have I think if you have an Audible membership already, they might be free anyway. I don't remember how that works. It's been a while since I've been on Amazon's back end to check. I am still working on that series. There's going to be at least a few more short stories. Well, that's always appreciated, Renai. I think I just released not too long ago a bundle with the first 3 in them, all in one. Yeah, there's a my younger sister is also an author, and she has published several books now. But she's actually publishing right now, at least, things closer to novels in length. They're shorter than standard novels, maybe novella sized. But she does like fractured fairy tales and stuff like that, which, if you don't know what that is basically taking a fairy tale and kind of twisting aspects of it to make your own story. Yeah, sure. Go for it, Decaf. I'm always curious to check out authors. Dark Sun by Brandon Meyer. Cool. Welcome back, Doker. Hold on, I'm gonna look that up right now, because if I don't, I'm gonna forget. Let's see. Dark Sun. Paperback, Barnes & Noble. Dang. Yeah, I got nothing. Oh, dang, this looks sick. It's even got a paperback. This is actually on Barnes & Noble. I never got published at Barnes & Noble, though. Digital versions of my short stories, the Ashen Bower series, are available now on Nook, I think, through Barnes & Noble's website. Because I did, at the middle of last year, do that. Okay, Dark Sun by... Yeah, I'm going to screenshot this so I don't forget about it. And hopefully I can check that out soon. I don't read a lot of physical books at the moment just because it's easier to listen to them while I'm at work. But I am reading a little bit every night. to actually get back into like physically reading with my eyes again, because I think that's important. So yeah, I'll have to check that out. But yeah, it looks really cool. The cover of it looked super cool. Anyway, I do intend so my plans with Ashen Bower, a little peek behind the curtain here, because you know I never get to talk about my books with like anyone, pretty much. With Ashen Bower, there's going to be a few more short stories, at least 2 more, if not 3, and then they'll all be about the same length. And then I plan to make at least 1 novel in the same world with the same characters, but like an expansion on the story that the short stories kind of start. So that's kind of the plan. Yeah, Elijah, I'm just now getting back into reading myself. I just finished, like I said, at the Mountains of Madness by H.P. Lovecraft, and now I'm listening to like an anthology of a bunch of his short stories. And I'm like a third of the way through that. Enjoying myself very much with that, because this is the first time I've actually read anything from Lovecraft, even though I've been very inspired by his work, at least the idea of his work in my own work. But and then I've got The Road by Cormac McCarthy queued up to eventually listen to. And then I'm not sure where I'm going to go from there. I might refresh myself, because I listen to Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit at least once a year as kind of like a palate cleanser between getting into like new series and stuff like that. So I might do that, or I will listen to Dune again, because the 3rd movie is coming out in December, apparently. I didn't know it was going to be that soon, and I'm actually super excited about it. So I might listen to Dune again. At least the first 2 books. I'm not sure if I'll listen to the whole series or not. And by whole series, I mean the official 6 books that were written by Frank Herbert. Not necessarily the follow-ups written by his son. I appreciate that, DKF. I hope you can read them, and I hope that you actually enjoy them, because it would suck if you didn't. I am working on another short story. I don't know if I'll publish that one or not, but it's kind of like a Lovecraftian horror, kind of in the realm of Lovecraft thing. It's meant to be part of like a bigger anthology series, which will probably all be short stories, maybe a novel. I'm not sure. Yes, Tolkien is my palate cleanser. Dune also being a palate cleanser is also pretty wild, but it is. I love that book. I have a really nice copy of it that my wife got me for my birthday, or no, for Christmas last year. And it is a beautiful. It's got a beautiful like cover and everything. I've also been trying to like go through some of the classics. So recently I read, what was the most recent one I read? I'm not sure. I think what was the most recent one I read? I think it was Christmas Carol. I'd never read or listened to Christmas Carol before, so I listened to that around Christmas time, obviously. Eventually I'm going to finish A Tale of Two Cities, which is one of my wife's favorite books. I've listened to like over half of it, but I'm not done with it. Ranger's Apprentice is a good one. Honestly, I like all the mainline books, but some of the later ones are a bit difficult for me. just because I enjoyed the first 6 so much. Anyway, I have a physical copy of Lord of the Rings edition. I have so me and my wife are huge Tolkien fans. I proposed to her with a line from Lord of the Rings. Actually, it was several lines. It was like a whole paragraph, but anyway, you don't need to know that. So I have several editions. We have several paperback versions between the two of us because we each had our own copies, and then we got married, and so we joined our collections. So we have several different copies. I mean, if you want just a normal paperback, those are usually fine in terms of paper. But I have a really nice all-in-one Lord of the Rings edition, which I got at Barnes & Noble. I wonder if I could bring it up on screen here. Let me see if they still have it. I actually got it to propose to my wife while I'm looking for this. Yeah, I never read Royal Ranger. So I can't really speak to that. I read the first 2 books of Brother Band, but it just wasn't for me. I don't know. I didn't like it as much. Maybe if I reread it, I would think differently. I'm not sure. But Royal Ranger, I wasn't even really interested in, to be honest. Lord of the Rings. Let's see. Yeah, that looks like it. At least that's the right cover. Is this? Yeah. Okay, yeah, this is the one I got. Okay. Where's my display capture? There it is. Okay, here it is. So this is what I got. The deluxe edition, which, you know, this says it's hardcover, but it's more like a fancy soft cover. At least the one I have. This might be different. It's the correct cover, and it looks the same, but I don't know. Like I said, this says hardcover, but the one I have is definitely not hardcover. Anyway, so this is the one I have, and then like I said, we have several just paperback, like your standard run of the mill everyday paperbacks that you could get at literally any bookstore. We have those. Well, the funny thing about that, Decaf, is that people seem to forget, and I know that in subsequent books after this one, Flanagan really leaned away from this, but you have to remember the Kalkara and the Urgles, which were definitely, if not magical creatures, at least like really low magic universe adjacent. You're welcome, Elijah. So it's not unprecedented. It's just, I don't know. Which honestly, if he had kept the really low fantasy, you know, aesthetic and had other like fantastical creatures that just fit into his world, I wouldn't have minded that. Because I feel like he would have done justice to it. But like I said, after the first book, he really leaned away from that. Like leaned away from it hard. To the extent that I wonder why he had those things in the first book to begin with. But anyone who doesn't know Ranger's Apprentice won't know what I'm talking about. Did I say Urgles? I think that's wrong. Because I think those are from... What are they called in Ranger's Apprentice? Because I think the Urgles, those are from Aragon. I don't know what I'm... Wargulls. That's it. That's it. Okay, you're right about that. But that's still things that don't exist in our world, right? Like, it's low fantasy. No, Urgles, the Urgles I was thinking of, I think are from Aragon. I think that's what I'm thinking of. I'm not sure why I got them mixed up. I haven't read Aragon in, golly, like 15 years or more. Yeah, once again, it's very low fantasy, but that's okay, you know? Don't bother with Aragon. I don't really think it's that good, to be honest, and I have read it. I really have. I don't think it's that good. Nothing really against Paolini, but I don't really understand personally why Aragon was so popular. Personal opinion, obviously, but and when it comes to Dune, bro, I understand. If Dune is not for you, it's not for you. That is completely understandable. Like, it really is not for everybody. 100%. I'm totally on board with you. In reality, Dune should have been something I hated, and for some reason it became one of my favorite series of all time. I don't know why. To this day, I don't know why. I'm about to run out of both coffee and water, and I'm going to have to go to the bathroom soon. So we can continue discussion. I'm just warning you that that's on the horizon. Silmarillion? Is that a good guess? Yep. Listen, I'm just proud of you for not getting filtered by Tom Bombadil like most of the people I talk to about Tolkien. So honestly, good on you for that. Like legitimately, I'm not even messing around. I'm proud of you. Like I understand getting filtered by the Silmarillion. Once again, I really do. I was filtered by the Silmarillion until I had the incentive of my wife really loving it, or my, at that time, girlfriend really loving it, and I wanted to impress her. So I read the Silmarillion to impress her and ended up loving it. So, yeah. Yes, I also love Tom Bombadil, and I do find it sad that people don't, but I understand it on like a fundamental reader level. See, that's funny, Decaf, because for so long, one of the prevailing theories was that Tom Bombadil was basically like Tolkien. One of two things. He's either Tolkien kind of in universe, or he's basically the god of the universe, just kind of stepping in and like observing his world from from the ground, basically. Which both of those are technically incorrect, but they're interesting theories. Okay, I am gonna run to the bathroom now. The coffee is hitting me. I'll be right back. Eldritch sounds from my desktop. I've returned. Once again, the arcane noises from my desktop. I don't know why that's happening. Anyway, guy listening to a podcast. I wrote a book called In the House of Tom Bombadil. C.R. Wiley. That sounds familiar, but I don't know it off the top of my head, but that sounds interesting. Yeah, Tom Bombadil's an interesting character, and his origins are interesting, but they're less interesting than you'd think in terms of like from Tolkien's perspective. Oh man, sorry, that was my lower back has been in shambles lately for reasons specific to my chronic illness that I won't get into because they're not very pleasant to talk about. Oh, my bones have been squeezed. I wish I was kidding about that. My critical thinking brain is dubious about this second cup of coffee for the day, but my instant gratification brain says, coffee. Back in the day, I probably would have been just as spirited in my discussions on Pinkie Pie and how she's clearly a deity of some sort in her universe because of how she just breaks physics, and everyone just kind of accepts it. But I won't get into that now, lest I expose myself. I do like Twilight, but hard to say what my favorite is of like the main cast. But once again, I used to be rather into Friendship is Magic, so there's my confession. To an extent that is honestly hard to look back on. Why was this open? Oh, that's why. 20% cooler. Okay. Yeah, see, I have less legitimate reasons for having all of the knowledge that I have about it. In terms of like, yeah, it makes sense that you have a child who watches it because that's the intended demographic. I'm just still a little miffed. I understand why, and I'm honestly like, it's kind of cool that you can have things like redemption and stuff like that being shown so well in a show that is run by people who are definitely not in any way Christian. But I was a little miffed when Discord kind of became like a good guy, so to speak, because I freaking loved Discord as a villain. Very true, Renai. Very true. And that's one of the reasons I write stories, because universal values are universal. And I believe that we write stories to reflect those values. Because, Romans 1. Yes, John Delancey, his work as Discord was just absolutely fantastic. I legitimately loved every minute of his screen time, even after he kind of became like a pseudo good guy. What the heck? Oh, I forgot that my timers are on different timings now. So I was surprised to see that come up again so soon. It scared me a little bit. I was like, what the heck is that doing there? The bots are back. It's me. I'm the bot. It's my own bot doing the things that I told it to. And I don't like it. On a completely different note. Okay, hold on. Hold on. I gotta, it's not a soapbox. It's like the opposite because it doesn't actually mean anything. Do you guys happen to know? Do you guys happen to know the meme about the women want me, fish fear me hat? Like, legitimately, I want to know. Like, okay, so you know about the meme? Okay. Got it. Okay, so. If you know about the meme, let's see. Let's see here. So I had an idea the other day. Okay, Elijah doesn't know about it. Let's see here. I'll show it to you. Let's see, where's my... I'm turning on my display capture again. Not that one. This one. Okay, here it is. Wait. No, not that one. that was not it. No, stop. Gosh. Okay, hold on. Here it is. Women want me, fish fear me. Okay. It's like a meme, right? So the other day I had an idea to how to make this funnier. Ignore that. Let me see if I can do this in a... Let's see. Everything's happening at once. Let's see here. Why is that? Where am I typing if I'm not typing there? That scares me. Let's see. Okay. I'm not going to be able to do it like I wanted to, but... So you have women want me, fish fear me, right? And then you have a third line that just says mermaids are conflicted. I thought that was freaking funny the other day when I thought of it. I literally, like, I thought about it in another room, and I literally ran to the room where my wife was talking with some of her sisters who were over for dinner. I literally ran to the other room, and I was so excited to, like, tell her that. And she just gives me this look of, like, ultimate contempt. It was so funny. Yeah, the mermaids are conflicted could be in, like, Comic Sans or something like that. I like how we went from talking to literature to my really stupid idea for a hat. But that's how my mind works, so welcome to the cafe. I hope your stay here is enlightening. What am I doing? Okay, there we go. Oh man, we are almost an hour and 15 into the stream. I'm loving the longer yapping sessions I've been able to have before we actually get into like the games. Like they've been actually really fantastic lately, and I'm really grateful for that. Because I like to yap and I like to talk about stuff with people, but when you're talking to no one, it's harder to carry on a conversation, you know? But you gotta at least pretend or try. Rena, you understand. That was not meant to be any kind of insult. I'm sorry if it sounded like one. It was more like a, you know, fist bump fellow small creator moment in my head. But I'm sorry if it was received poorly. But anyway, Rena, you understand. The goal is to like, you know, get used to talking, whether you're talking to nobody, one person, or 100, or even 1,000. You know, get comfortable with it just in general. But it is really a lot easier when you actually have people you're carrying on a conversation with. I think we will go and start the game though, because I do actually have to set aside some time tonight to make dinner, because I gotta have lunches for work for the rest of the week for me and my wife. So I do have that responsibility later. Though we don't actually need dinner for tonight because my it's St. Patrick's Day, and therefore my wife, her family, who are partially Irish, like to celebrate with a specific meal. So they will be doing that. I don't believe I will be participating because of the way my health is right now. But that is okay. So I think I am going to go ahead and start the game. So I'm going to go and switch over to that. It is actually corned beef and cabbage. So yes. My mother-in-law makes it from scratch. Oh my goodness. Yeah, they have a family recipe that they make every year.
The journey so far.
I forgot that
the cauldron was cold, but the horsemen rekindled its fire, and in the hearts of the makers, an ember of hope was born. Hope for life, and for what lies beneath the earth.
Okay. Before I fully start the game, I am going to go and refill my water bottle because it's almost empty, and I'm going to wash out my coffee cup. So I'll be right back. I got more water, but I'm actually going to go to the bathroom one more time before I start playing, so I don't have to stop in like 10 minutes. Be right back. Okay, now I'm back. On a note completely unrelated to starting the game, the trailer just released today, I think, for it's like a teaser trailer for Dune Part 3, and oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Get out of the way. Get Eh. There's supposed to be a prompt that allows you to kill these things, but it barely works. Anyway, enough about that. My gosh, the teaser trailer looks so cool. I'm so excited. Okay, let me just re-familiarize myself here. Dodge. That's the gun. That's lock on. That's my weapons. Gordon. By the way, how are the volume levels? Might as well get that out of the way early on here so that I'm not messing around with them the entire time I'm playing. Just check. Oh, wait. Oh, whoa. Yeah, the combat's where it gets difficult. Oh, okay. Oh, wait. Okay, oops. No, anyway. Let's see here. Say something while making a lot of noise in the game. Normal conversational tone. How's that? How we feeling? Nope, get down in there. Oh, hello. Oh, whoa. Boom, bam, boom, I guess. I'm pretty sure I have like a... I've got like a move that lets me... Let's see here. I know I've got a move that lets me... razor kick. Right. Nope, that's the wrong button. Let's see. Razor wheel, harvester slam. Okay, yeah. Harvester revenge, steering forward evade, crossover side saw. Pretty good for the most part. You probably bring the sound effects down the tiniest bit. Okay. X after any crossover. In air. Okay. So X, X, X. That's the up one. X. That's still the up one. What's the slam down one that I got? X, X, X. There we go. Okay. That's going to be a good one. That should stun enemies. It's funny seeing the like roll around this giant wall. Let's see. Okay. There we go. Maybe that'll do it. I don't know why all the sound effects are just boosting. Love the way like things are designed in this game. They just had such a vision, and I think they executed it really well, even if some other parts of the game aren't executed so well, in my opinion. The art direction and the environments, I think, are executed just really well. Touch grass as you please, my friend. See, I'm actually not doing that currently because it randomly got super cold in my area, so unfortunately it's like 40 outside, and I don't like it. No, see, I live in the south, so no snow for me. I pick up your set. Yes, I saw that some parts of the country just straight up got snowed in randomly. It's very strange. Honestly, the weather has been just kind of weird. Last year and this year, I don't know. I won't get conspiratorial on stream, but it's funky. Yeah, well, it's something to write home about down here. Definitely not usual at this point in March for it to randomly drop down to like 40 degrees. Or it actually got even colder. The other night, like wind chill, we were well below freezing, which is definitely not common. Where is that chest that's on the map? That's what I want to know. Ooh, there's a funky thing up there. How do I get you, funky thing? Okay. I don't think I can get that chest. Let's just check it. Ah. Speaking of which, apparently a chest over there, but I don't know where. Down and see. There's obviously that tunnel I can go through. I don't know exactly where that leads. Excuse me. Woo! Hello? I can do some health potions because I suck. I think at this point in the game, just going for straight damage is probably going to be my best bet. You know, it's not. It's not the end-all, be-all. Yeah, we've been having just really high winds. We had some thunderstorms a couple weeks ago that were pretty bad, but it's just been super windy mainly. I'm a little confused about where I'm supposed to go. It seems okay. Dust is actually telling me to go back outside. I can't get over there. Assumedly till I fill it with water is my thought. Where are you telling me to go, Dust? Up to that door? I thought it was locked. Am I insane? No, that door is definitely locked. Is there a way to unlock that? Dust, where are you telling me to go? I guess there's a door over there. Right. Yeah, okay, yeah, this is how I get to it. Wait a minute. Big boom, what? What is that? Can I get to that chest now? Hello. Ha-ha! Don't mind if I do. Another improvement and Wrath on Crit? Let's go. It is the problem with loot in games like this. Sometimes it's just kind of... It seems kind of arbitrary. You know? It doesn't feel very thought out, I guess. How would one get to that Book of the Dead page? Okay, I think I see. You have to get all the way up there. Is it worth it to go after it? Yeah, I'd rather go for more collectibles than not, if I have the opportunity. It's my stream, I can do what I want. Within reason. So let's see here. How would I actually get over there? Yeah, well... Unfortunately, the entire idea, and this is a problem I've had with many games in the past few, probably the past 5 or 6 years. I don't believe that item durability is a fun system. In fact, I think it really drains the fun out of a lot of games. I think it's just really arbitrary and like not, I don't know, it's just not fun. Gosh. Yeah, I don't like it personally. Well, I'm wasting a bunch of time because I was not paying attention. But that's just personal opinion, obviously. I know a lot of people do like it. But I think it's like I said, I feel like it's kind of arbitrary, and it's a way to pad out your game and make artificial difficulty instead of being smart about difficulty. I have very harsh opinions on it, personally. Obviously, in games like Valheim, it's a little different because it's a survival crafting game, and 2, you can repair items in that game. So once they break, they're not just broken. But I don't know. Yay. Okay, now I need to get back to actually doing the quest. Well, one of the main issues with this game's loot system is that, you know, Darksiders 1 didn't have any kind of loot system. You had one weapon and a few sub-weapons that you would just upgrade over time. In this game, obviously you have, you know, interchangeable weapons and several sub-weapons that you get new ones over time. And while I think that's a cool system and I like its addition, I don't think it was implemented super well. And it ends up being just kind of like an arbitrary time waster in a lot of ways. Until you get to later items in the game where you can feed weak items to a strong item to make it stronger, which I do. That's a system I do. Because then it makes all the trash items that you're constantly getting, it gives you a use for them beyond just picking up inventory space and selling them. They're called like devouring weapons or something like that. I can't remember. We'll eventually get one. Lionel Farm duplicated most powerful weapons, which is yeah. I don't know. Once again, it's not a system I really liked for either of those games. I just felt like it was a waste of my time, to be honest. And I just don't have a ton of that anymore. So it's like, it was more annoying than anything else. Because it's either feast or famine, right? You know, you either have a ton, like way too many weapons, or you have like none. And Tears of the Kingdom, I think, did make it at least a little more interesting with the Ultra Hand and the fuse thing, because it is fun to like experiment with fusing different stuff to, you know, your weapons to like figure out what they do. But you know, it's not very fun to like fuse something to a weapon and then find out it's useless. Of course, you can't unfuse it, but you know, I feel like it could have been better. But then again, I don't know games. Hold on. Is there a spawner for these little guys? If so, I need to prioritize that. Oh. I like how they're teaching me how to dodge again. Then again, maybe they have reason to teach me to dodge again because I'm so bad at it. Ow. Of course, that one I don't feel like was fair. Because that was the AoE, like, having a delay on it and getting me anyway. See what I mean? I guess there is like a timing thing where if you do it right, I don't take damage, but I've never been very good at time dodges. But I suppose it's there if I'm willing to get that right. Health on crit. Actually, I don't like that either. I might do that one instead. Ooh, that's nice. I definitely need that. Oh. Oh, cool. So you never really paid much attention in some of my previous playthroughs to like the side quests, but I feel like I want to pay more attention to those. Because I feel like I never took this game as seriously as I should have. And I really regret that, because I love the Darksiders series. I really do. And I really need to take this game for what it is at face value instead of, you know, comparing it to the first one. Which is one of my favorite games of all time. And this game, I think, also could be if I took it more seriously. Did I regain all my health or something like that? Because it won't let me use my... Oh, I completely refreshed my health somehow. What was the point of... I guess coming in here was just for the helmet. Which is fine. I thought I was going towards the quest. But I guess Dust is telling me that's not the case. Oh well. I'd rather go for the side stuff first anyway. I'm glad I actually went that way instead of going the intended direction first. I'm a side quester at heart. Was there anything in here? There was a chest. Number go up good, agreed. Though I did actually make a decision that was number go down a little bit on my sides. I decided to let one number go down so other number go up, which if number is health, better for survivability. Because I'm not very good at this game, and I need that. So... number go down okay in certain... Yes, optimization, correct. I'm not usually a min-maxer, but being smart is something else, you know? Understanding my limits, we'll call it that, make me seem wise. What's the dive button in this game? Okay, where is chest? Ha ha! Give. I love the freaking ghost arms, dude. They're so cool. Like, inject that into my veins. Death is so cool in this. I have to qualify that statement, I suppose. How do I get out of here? Oh, it's right there. Oh, okay. I'm pretty sure I knew that already, but thanks for telling me again, game. Honestly, that is something I legitimately would have forgotten. So, you know what? The game knows what type of player I am. Maybe I haven't done that before in this game, and so that's the first time the game is telling me. Whoa! Let's go! Ball puzzle. I know there are ball puzzles in Zelda. I'm struggling to think of a specific one, though. Am I crazy? Are there not any? Wait. There's a Boatman coin over there. Sonic 06? I've never played any Sonic game, so I wouldn't know. Yeah, I know in Breath of the Wild, but I was trying to think if there were any in previous Zelda games. I'm talking pretty much only 3D ones, because I've never played any of the 2D ones. Well, that's not true. I played a little bit of Four Swords. Back in the day. I say back in the day. I'm missing a piece of the puzzle. That's back. Well, I hope that neither of those is the case, Elijah, because I don't want you to be depressed or angry. But, enjoy your grass touching, my friend. You're welcome back to the cafe at any time. Break. Break pot. Break pot. Break pot. Both my Dark Souls brain and my Zelda brain. Enjoy. I feel like there's going to be a boss. Or just a horde of enemies. No? Puzzle. Mainly puzzle. Excuse me. Okay. Button do something, but don't know what button do just yet. I need one of the splody balls. Yes. Excuse me. The aim sensitivity is maxed out. I didn't set it to be like that. Wink. I cannot throw that very far. Good to know. Death's throwing arm is not the best. Pick up from? Yeah, hold on. What's up? Oh, that it's all one word? Is that what you were looking at? Yeah, they did make it one word. That's interesting. I never really noticed that. Let us consider things. There's nowhere interesting. Okay. I know what I need. The solution is obvious to me now. Shoop-a-doop, yoink. Yeet. Wait, there's a chest in here. Oh, it somehow just fell into the hole that it needed to fall into. That's funny. There's a chest in here. Hold on. Where is it? Is it up? Okay, I think it's up in that channel. And there's a lever up there. So I'm obviously... I may come back in here later. Yeah, I think the chest is up in this. Oh, nope, it's right here in front of my face. Incredible. Utterly incredible. Okay. Okay, that is the area that I just opened. Uh-oh. My stomach is making the bubblies. Not a fantastic sign. Break the pots. Reap the benefits. Ah. I wish the B prompt on these guys would work a little better. Fortunately, a little spinny bit with the gun picks him up. A little zoom. That I unequipped the claws. Okay, I'm gonna have to use the hammer. Wait. Oh. I think I wasn't supposed to be able to explode the pistons up here. Whatever. Wider. Unless there are other crystals that need to be exploded. Am I supposed to go down the channel again? Sure. There we go. That is what it is. Delicious. I don't know how else to describe it. Wait. There's no way that's clean. It's like that. So where is that? Where is that chest? Okay, that's the time. I can take it this way, so. Shooby-doo-bop. Let's see. Okay, that goes back over there. Where else can I go? Just saying over here, maybe? No.
Go.
That's the same over here, no? Yeah. I guess maybe I was supposed to return to the area. Maybe. Now dust is going over there. I think as useful as dust can be for showing me where I'm supposed to go, it's a little confusing sometimes. Okay, this is clearly okay. I know from the main area, the hub area of the dungeon, that there's 2 sides, which I assume in order to finish the dungeon, I have to get both sides running with water. But I'm not sure. Let's look at the map, actually. Okay. So there's a door over here that maybe I can access now. Though it's still showing as red. Okay. I was supposed to go back this way. Okay, that door's still locked, so I think I need to take the. Yeah, wherever that's taking me. Steam. I guess death doesn't need to breathe, so that's chill. Then again, war didn't either. I guess being a Nephilim 4 horsemen of the apocalypse comes with some perks. Wait, there's a chest. Where did I get that? Maybe actually. Well, I guess I would just go the other way. Yeah. Reset. Transfer into a dive. Whoops. Hardcore in this game, so. That does more critical damage, and I have a thing that lets me get health on a critical on the sides. So that's good. All in all, good. As well as money. Always need money. Oh no, one of these guys. hard to focus on more than one enemy. Trying to anticipate his attack. Better than the last time I did that. Yeah, actually. I think the other one had some other... Yeah, all the enemies in this game have wonky tells, which is why the inclusion of the whole dodge mechanic is shaky at best, but it is what it is. I spent plenty of time ranting about that last time, so I won't harp on it too much this time. I was also just not playing the game very well last time. I was forgetting what the dodge button was and just pushing the wrong button over and over again. This time I'm at least not doing that. Oops. Yeah, I don't think group fights are handled very well in this game. But once again, it kind of is what it is. You know, you have ways that you can deal with it. It's just the lock-on system as well is very restrictive and doesn't actually make much sense to be included. But I have to take the game at face value. There's nothing to be done about it now. You know? Let's see here. There's a lever up there that I can't reach, obviously. And a chest further back. But I think I need to go this way. Okay, interesting. There's also some input lag. Its own is not really that bad. I would say the music is not anything like uber special, but I do enjoy it a lot. Like, it's worth mentioning. I don't know. I think it's fair that this game is rough around the edges just because they wanted to... you know, you have the issue with any sequel, right? You want to innovate on the original. So, you know, you're not accused of just making the same game again. But at the same time, you know, innovation comes with its own. You're not going to bat 100 every single time. And that's just the reality of it. It's hard being a sequel. And I will say what they wanted to do with this game is ambitious, and I appreciate it for what it is. And I don't even think that they necessarily did poorly every aspect. I just think there are some mechanics that weren't implemented as best as they could be. Of course, that's coming from, you know, knowledge of a gaming market that has had mechanics like these as kind of standard issue for years and years now. So, also have to consider that. Hindsight. Shock damage. I'm interested, but I like the health on hit, or health on crit that I have. Yeah, I gotta figure out how to get explode. Yes, I do like the atmosphere, and honestly, the vocalization and stuff for the Maker's Realm is stellar. Like I said, I don't think I really interacted with the game at face value very well in my first couple playthroughs. When I, you know, way back in the day when the game first came out. So that's the thing, I did play this game when it first came out. I can't say that about the first Darksiders, but this game, yes. I really didn't. I didn't play it with the right mindset. That's what I will say. Let's see here. Where's this chest? Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. Because I am an extremely different person than I was when this game first came out. Because honestly, you want to say that the first game is pretty old, coming out, I think, back in 2010. I mean, this game is also at least over 15. Yeah. It really is a completely different beast. It really is a completely different beast playing this now as opposed to back then, even back when it came out. I can't blow up the darker crystals, right? I don't think so. All right, you have a blessed day. Thanks for coming, Renai. Enjoy the rest of your day wherever it takes you. Thank you for tuning in. Sound like a radio host. Thank you for tuning in. Back next week. Lampwick something. I'm not good at improvisation. Which made things very difficult as a DM. Anyway, peace out, brother. I honestly probably won't be streaming much longer anyway, because like I said earlier, I got dinner to make. So. Okay, well that actually went somewhat well. I don't know how close I am to finishing the... Because if I'm close to it, I might finish it in the spring. But if I the sensitivity. Honestly, if this beats the level, it just as it goes away with all of the treasure. I think I already got the side quest item in here, so. There is a chest over here, but I don't know if I necessarily care. Hard to say. Can I can take this channel back. Shortcut. I'm not actually sure where that took me. Oh, I was supposed to be. That's cool. That's chill. Oh, I guess that probably just goes back to the main room. I basically just opened up a shortcut, so to speak. Yeah. Okay. Well, that closes that loop anyway. There's like one more chest. I don't care about it. I like party games. Yeah, I like party games. It kind of depends on the party game, but for the most part, yeah. I can't think of any that I just like dislike right on their face. So, yeah. I don't know what else to say about that. What's it called? I will say, I think I'm probably going into a boss fight, so I'm gonna use the restroom real quick once again. Okay, that's fine. Send me the link to it, and I'm gonna run to the restroom, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, that one. That one does look pretty fun, actually. I don't know much about it. I've seen the trailer, but oh wait, I've already been here. Am I just supposed to leave? Like, did I win? I'm not actually sure.
It's time you find something.
Okay. So I'm not done here. I think I kind of missed something. Did that door open? Is that what happened? I think I wasn't paying attention when the cutscene played when I came back in here. Okay, yeah. I got confused. Okay, yeah. So now I can walk. Right. Okay, yeah. Yes. I think with the big ball sitting there, I have an idea of what I need to do. Of course, the boss has ads. You can't just have a boss, you gotta have ads. I'm not satisfied with that. Ads. Oh, the balls are the ads. That's interesting. I forgot about that. Why would you add fighting the boss? Okay, well, at the very least, the ads don't exactly have a ton of health, so there's that. I understand the winter hate, but I'm glad that you have the joy budding. Okay, next round I need to remember that I have my free before. Ah! Woo! At least I don't have like a stamina bar that I need to worry about. So there's that. Woo! It does kind of look like a Metroid boss. Okay. That kind of sucks. Kind of screwed me out of letting me kill it. It became invincible for a second. Whatever. I got to use root punch. That's what matters. Oh! You fucking get tricked. I didn't think so. Ah! Oh, almost got it. Let's go. Masher of Karkinos. Okay. I got a full hammer. Yay. enjoy the raking of leaves, sir. Wrath on crit. Oh, those are gauntlets. Let's see about that hammer. Can I wield it? No, I need to be level 7. I'm 1 level behind. What I got here? Frost damage 16. Actually, this one has shock damage. I'd rather actually have that. Oh wait, that's what I have equipped. Okay, that just says frost damage. Got it. Okay. Bye, Elijah. Thank you for coming. Hopefully I'll be streaming again on Thursday, so come by if you can. But no worries if you can't. Yay! Drenchfort completed. Let's go. Can I teleport? That would be extremely useful. Just teleport out of the dungeon.
Out with it.
The forge has been restored.
Aye. And Alia ran down the village the moment the waters reached us, giggling like a 2,000-year-old.
2,000-year-old?
It's a right noble deed for one of the riders. Perhaps I was wrong about you.
None of those seem like I want them right. So. Peak is a fun game. I wish I had more friends who played it, but I really don't. And my wife couldn't quite get into it. I never got the last, oh frick. What about the quest from Karn? Where was he? Where's Karn? Where was he? It doesn't show me.
This is no place for a horse.
Seems like a perfect place for a horse. Is Karn's in there with Alia? Maybe he is. Because I don't want to not get the XP and stuff for completing that quest. Also, I don't think I got all the materials that the shaman wanted me to get for the talisman or whatever.
What was old is new again.
Okay.
I will make use of it as well.
I now have stuff that I can sell. Sells actually really decent.
My thanks. As you reap, I will sow.
All right. Whatever you say. Sorry, I'm just kind of like vibing to the music. I love the little pipe whistle or whatever it's called. Whatever that wind instrument is that they were playing. I love it. Hello? Oh, good. Key. Big key. Me do love big key. It's not exactly how quenching works, but okay.
It is finished then, at long
Piccolo.
last.
It's probably a piccolo.
Death,
I forgot
this
what it's
is a
called.
maker's key, and you had best take it now, before I come to my senses.
Okay.
Is he more likely to lose the old one?
A problem, aye. But there is also a solution. The Guardian. Meant to be our greatest weapon, and capable of clearing the forest around the tree. But an earthquake drove us from the foundry, and now I fear something else roams within.
Right.
The Guardian was never finished.
If the Guardian is your masterwork, how am I to complete him?
In the forest lies another construct, one of the few remaining who have not fallen to corruption. He is not as vast as the Guardian, but his heart is strong. Seek him out, and he will guide you to the foundry. There, you may
I don't remember this
activate the
part at
Guardian
all, so.
using the Maker's Key.
Cool.
The forge blazes again, Ryder, thanks to you. But that's no excuse to hang about. Have you not a construct to awaken? Valis has been busy. There are new items.
Goodness gracious. Why is all your stuff so expensive?
Right fast, Death. My realm teaches and oppresses.
So you say. Where does this lead? They fit like smalls. That's crazy. Like that's a crazy discrepancy in like sizing. Huh. I don't think I can go that way. I've just a slight inkling that I can't go that way right now. Where the heck is Karn? That side quest. I want to like close that loop, you know, that mental loop. So if I don't do it this stream, I'm gonna forget. not anywhere over here. Where the heck is he? I don't know. I'm a little confused. Probably have enough to get some more moves, but I think I'll hold off for now. I can barely use the ones I've got. I think my wife just got home, so I'm gonna have to hop off here in a minute. Ammo is limited on. I'm gonna have to start learning to load on my own. That's interesting. I guess ammo is limited because they just 350. I've never even heard of that. Ooh, my spine. Okay. Return the helmet to Karn. Where is Karn? That's what I want to know. Oh, I got another skill point, actually. Newer caliber, been around for 10 years. Interesting. Huh. And I think fire. Frost? Wrath generation for a short time. I actually do want Frost one a little bit. The risk of doing my points to liberally do that one. But anyway, since my wife is home and I need to make dinner, I'm going to end stream here. So I may quit the game and go back to the cafe for a minute. Okay. Yoink. Low recoil fly straight is good for 200 yards for a takedown shot. I'm not very well versed in firearms, but that sounds pretty cool. I'm sorry that it's hard to come by though. Anyway, that's gonna have to do it for today. I will, Lord willing, be back on Thursday for more. Decaf, I hope you had a decent shift at work, and I hope that you'll get to go home soon. Enjoy your research, and enjoy your evening too, my friend. Anyway, I believe that the dawn is coming, which means that bye, Doker. Which means that I and my cafe will be disappearing. However, we will return again when night covers the world and a little bit of light is needed. Until then, my friends and my dear little embers, chase the dark away and goodbye.